Good afternoon, everybody. We'll be going over the quick market recap and all the trades I took today, why I took them, and just going over what happened in the market today. So let's get over it. Okay, so starting off, with the pre-market prep, I kind of expected to stay in range, to stay in between this range, and here's why. When you zoom out to, for example, like the 1 hour time frame, you can kind of see how we pumped up like crazy, and then Friday we had the data in the morning and then we bounced right back up. But the thing is, with Friday we didn't break over the range, right? So we came back, we established a balanced low right here, and then we bounced back to where the data high was, and we just came right back down. And then for the pre-market today, we held the Friday lows basically around the 970s. So looking at the pre-market action from today, I figured, I was like, hey, we're probably going to stay in range for today, just because like usually when the market makes a move like this, it usually like has to kind of digest the move in for a couple days and then for it to go higher or lower, especially with FOMC this Wednesday and a couple more red folder news. I kind of figured out that the market wasn't really going to, but like I wasn't going to take action on it. It was just kind of a prediction. And so let's go into the first trade I took. So the first trade I took that I publicly shared with everybody was this one right here. Was 653. We bought the NQ88, which was this right here, right? So we had the balanced lows. So this is almost very similar. So you see support here, the Friday ES gap down, and then we came right back up. So we kind of know this 80s level is kind of important. We bounced there during pre-market twice, actually like 3 times, and during Friday was a pretty important level. You know how we kept bouncing off the pretty close to it, not exact, but so we know kind of this 80s zone is pretty important. So I didn't buy it off the open right away. So if we zoom out to the 1 minute, I waited for it to test a couple times first. So I have this idea that we're gonna stay in range, as I explained like a minute ago, but I'm not gonna buy, like for example, first test here. So I waited about 25 minutes, where it tested multiple times. It tested here, came back down, bounced, and then I bought this red candle right here, and my stop was under this 77 wick right here. Stop could also been under this low right here, which is fairly actually nothing. Stop is 13-14 points, and first target would probably be somewhere around this low right here, which is 900, which is like a 12-point move. So you're 1-to-1 risk already, and then second target would probably be somewhere around the 40s. So yeah, so that's why I basically took the first trade. I was already expecting to be in range. I saw it hold the bottom support area, and same thing on ES, by the way. So if you look on ES, if you look on the 10 minute, for example, how many days is this? Okay, let's see. So if you look at ES, we were holding this important 40 zone. It's very basic, right? We have this 40 balance low, and we're just trying to hold this area right here. So NQ was holding the 80s low, ES was holding the 40s. Very small risk, a high reward for a move back to the balance. Fairly simple, right? So we took this trade, exited it somewhere around the 05, somewhere around here. Just because how weak ES was, how weak NQ was compared to ES, that was a mistake. Honestly, I shouldn't have sold. But that was basically the first trade. Second trade I took. So I kind of revenge traded on these two, which was a small mistake, honestly. So I gave back this trade's gains. So I went short here. So I was like, all right, we have this 30 area, a little bit above this area, right? We were kind of rejecting right above it, and I started seeing these wicks. I was like, all right, I'm gonna enter short with a stop at 40. And you're gonna ask, why 40? Well, if you look on the like higher time frame a little bit, you can see how 40 is a pretty important level. It was the support here, resistance here, and I realized it's a pretty important area to have a stop on. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna put a stop at 40. I got stopped out at 40, right as I get stopped out, it drops right back to my average. But and this was just a dip in a higher trend in a higher time frame, and then I take another short, a little bit higher. I don't know why I was leaning too short here. I was another wrong. So I see it go above 40, rejects again, and it lick sweeps right above this high. Liquidity sweeps right above this high, and I had a really good entry. I had an entry at 48, and my stop was at 60. And I'll show you why I stopped at 60 in a second. It was this liquidity zone right here. So it stops at entry's 48, comes down. I'm like, all right, looking perfect. You know, first target would be somewhere around this 32 where we bounced. Second target would be like this low, for example. Didn't happen. Got stopped out of 60. And here's why I got stopped out of 60. Looking at 60 right here. It was kind of around this area. So we have resistance here, here. We know 60s is kind of like a important liquidity zone. It's like 60, 70s mark. So it was worth a try, and I got stopped out. So I took a break for exactly 1 hour. I came back and I saw that we're kind of balancing into our range. I was like, all right, cool. So I came back exactly at 9. So this candle right here, and I saw that we're balancing in between this zone right here. So we go up, and same exact. So we go up, down, and I saw that we're holding this 85 area, which is exactly 100 points higher from our original entry, by the way. So I saw that we're holding this zone area. I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'm gonna enter long here. So I bought long to go up with a stop right under this, and it's a simple trade, right? If you go on like the higher time frame, for example, you can see how it's just holding this 85 area, and then you zoom down to the 1 minute and you see it's the exact same candle formation, right? Down doji, up, down doji, up, down, almost a doji, not really, but like you can kind of see the wicks on both sides, which is telling us that there's some support in this box right here, and then it bounces up, right? So I just bought this candle, you know, scaled off half where this area was struggling. So right here, you know, where every time it would come and reject, I scaled like somewhere in 97, I think, or 98. So somewhere at these wicks, where, because every time I would go around this 99 area, it would come right back down to the range. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take half here, and you know, I stop was at the break even, and then you know, went right back up. So that was another great trade. Could have taken it again here. Could have taken it again here. Could have taken short up in this area around this 113 level, 113 to 120. You could even see the high popped here, massive rally that came back down. Had 2 more trades. One trade we bought this 38, and I'll tell you why. So looking at this, we know this 38, by the way, is where we got stopped earlier at 40, and we know this is a pre-market high, and we know it was this important level. So looking at this 40 right here, we know it's an important level, right? It was support here, resistance here. But what's most importantly is, you guys know how I only like to buy dips when they're slowing down. So I would not buy this candle, I wouldn't buy this candle, I wouldn't buy this candle, because I don't have a defined stop, right? But seeing this 38 level, I saw that, hey, you know, we're trying to wick around the 40, so this is an important area. I'm like, all right, we're probably gonna revisit this. It's a week low. Comes back down, and I start seeing these wicks all the way here. So wick. You can see all those hammers. What this is telling me is someone is buying this area. You know, you're not seeing this type of candle anymore. You're seeing very slow candles on the way down. I'm like, all right, someone is defending this 38 area. I'm gonna buy it with a small stop under these wicks. Even if I get liquidity steep, it's fine. I'll put a small stop under like 32, so I have a 6-point risk, a very small risk, right? And the second I get in, we get in, I think either this candle or this candle. The second we get in, massive pump, 40-point pump right away, which was kind of expected because we're trading in a range, up or down. So it was just a mean reversion trade. Right? We're expecting it to go back to the mean, which is somewhere around this area. And I scaled off, I think, first half. The second the 1 minute candle ended, so I think at 53 or something, or 55, somewhere around this. And then I exited the rest at this resistance right here, at this right at this candle popped, at this right here, where this previous support area was. Right as it popped into it, I basically just sold, because usually, you know, support flips resistance flips support, same story. So right as it went into this zone, I immediately started scaling out and selling, even though I knew it could go back to 88. I just wanted to, you know, take profits a little bit quicker, even though it ran a lot higher. It ran 100 points from entry, right? It doesn't really matter. Had a good entry, worked, got good skills, sold here and here. That's all that matters. So could have shorted this area again, because we now know there's a fast supply zone in this area all the way here. So from here to here, every time it comes to this area, it gets slammed down. So had one more short, which was at 88, and we had a 94 stop. So looking at 88, here's why. It was right here, by the way. We know this is an important area because if you look at this, this is where the market was. But this is, keep in mind, this is where I bought long in the beginning, right? We bought long in this candle, and it bounced, and it bounced, and it bounced, and bounced. This is where we got long, and then sliced through. And then this is when I called in chat that we're gonna reoffer. So reoffer is basically the ask coming back. So now that there's support flips resistance, it's now, you know, this has become resistance. We bought this long, and then comes back into the same area, and I see a struggle. So this is basically like the curl I talk about, right? You're not really seeing this type of candle. You're not seeing really this type of candle. You're not seeing this type of candle. You're starting seeing struggle a lot near the 85, the 89. So you're starting red candles, lots of wicks around these areas, lots of slams. You're starting seeing just a lot of weakness. There isn't really a lot of strength anymore. So I took a short at 88, so top of the range right here, with a stop at 94. So a little bit above these wicks. Just so I don't eat a candle like this in my face, you know. And you know, it worked right away for like 15 points or something. And that was, and then I usually don't take that many trades power hour just because of how choppy it is. And I thought we'd have a massive mover to the close, but we didn't. We really just kind of consolidated into the close. So that's basically why I took every trade. I outlined all of them. So first of all, I took them all in chat with you guys, and then I timestamped all of them in the mentorship trades channel. So if you just click on the link I put, you'll see the time I took the trade, what I was thinking, everything like that. The time, the exit, the scale. It was basically this long right here, the short right here, the long right here, the short right here, and the short right here. These two didn't work, and then the long right here, which worked. Didn't really have much ES confluence today. ES was just kind of doing its own thing, and the reason why, I don't know the reason why. ES was just a lot stronger today, especially off the open. Just kind of rallying while NQ was a bit not we wouldn't say a bit slower, but NQ was touching lower lows while ES was kind of respecting higher lows. So here higher low, higher low, higher low, while NQ was making lower lows, right? So there wasn't really much ES to look at today. The only thing important with ES is that it had to hold the 38 level for us to go higher, which is the same low as 980 on NQ. So as long as ES held the 40 level, which is all I really cared about, it looked good for a bounce up back until the 80s high, which is the same high as 120 on NQ. If you zoom out a little bit, it's the same high. So Friday's high here, Friday's high just right above here. So as long as ES stayed between these two ranges, which I expect to do tomorrow as well, that's the only thing I really care about. ES, or sorry. And yeah, that's it for the market recap. I do think tomorrow we're gonna stay in this range somewhere between, you know, 40 and 120. I don't think we'll go higher just because there's news on Wednesday. But you know, pre-market plan coming before the open, and we'll be live trading tomorrow as well. So yeah, hope the recap helped, hope the trades helped. You have them timestamped in the proper channel, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me anytime. Have a good night, everybody. Take it easy.